What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a brand new weapon guide. Today, the literal lowest recoil weapon in Battlefield 6. Check this out. That's pretty easy. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. Well, obviously, that was with recoil control. Now check this out. I'm not gonna control the weapon. That is all the recoil this weapon has. It's absolutely insane. I got a couple of clips for you guys, and there's a little secret to the build of this weapon that I'm going to share with you guys later on. Enjoy the clips. Alright guys, today we're taking a look at the SL9, and honestly this might be one of the easiest weapons to use in Battlefield 6. This SMG basically has zero recoil. Seriously, it's got the lowest recoil of any weapon in the entire game that I've tried, and I've tried every single weapon. That means you can beam people across the map without even thinking about recoil control. Now of course, that comes with a bit of a trade-off. The SL9 doesn't have the highest damage output, so it won't delete enemies as fast as some of the faster firing SMGs. But what really makes this gun strong is how consistent it is. You can take fights at almost any range, and with a smart playstyle you can easily rack up big kill streaks. And here's the best part. It has got a 60 round extended mag. That means you can take on multiple enemies without reloading and really hold down an area of the map. Low recoil, extended mag, and an average rate of fire. Sounds familiar? Yup. This gun plays almost exactly like the PP-29 Bison from Battlefield 2042, which was one of the best guns in that game if you have even played that game. The SL9 kills a little slower, but sure, it will still absolutely shred, as you've probably already seen in the gameplay running in the background. For today's guide, I've got two builds for you guys. One for the player who have leveled up the gun and unlocked most attachments, and one for the player who just recently unlocked it so you can jump in and dominate early. Of course, also with this build you need to rank up the gun a little bit. Let's get into them. So here we have the first build, the main build I would like to say. This is also the build that is the hardest to get, because you need to get your gun to at least about level 30 I believe for that extended mag, which is costing 55 points. Check this build out. No barrel, no muzzle. The reason why: you don't need a barrel or a muzzle. Of course, having a suppressor would definitely be worth it. So if you'd like running a suppressor to be more stealthy, I would recommend changing up the green laser sight to a suppressor. So I personally like to use the green laser sight, but then you're gonna appear on the minimap, and the suppressors are very useful in this game. So if you don't like using a laser sight, or you don't hip fire a lot, definitely be sure to change that up to a suppressor, and then it can be the only suppressor that you're allowed to use, a standard suppressor. So going with this build, there's no barrel or muzzle. The reason why, you don't need a barrel or a muzzle. Usually the barrels or the muzzles, either you can put a suppressor on, but the other options are basically to reduce recoil. Well, check this out. You've already seen this, but this gun doesn't have recoil. This is without controlling it. Absolute incredible. So why would you put a barrel up when you can have the extended mag? And the extended mag is also needed because of the barrel, but we're getting into that in a second. Let's start off with the sight. I use a 2.5 scope. Now in most of the clips that I already showed, you'll see me use the variable 1 to 5 times. Of course you cannot use that here. That is for the second build that I'll be showing. But the 2.5 scope is really nice. It's got that perfect mid-range for the longer range gunfights you can actually do with this gun, as you probably could tell. But it's not too zoomed in to where close range gunfights are going to get a little awkward. So definitely a very clean 2.5 times the BF2M it's called. Now moving over to the laser, I went up using the green laser. It's visible unfortunately, but the improvements to hipfire are enormous, and I ended up using hipfire a lot. If you don't use hipfire as much and you like for a faster ADS speed, you can also go with the blue laser. Both are very good. The green laser is just even for better hipfire accuracy. Now this is a big one, the heavy extended, the 11-inch heavy. Factory barrel that improves firing accuracy over extended periods and increases projectile velocity, basically making this gun extremely good for range. What happens in this game is when you start firing, your accuracy gets worse. So you start getting bloom, which is basically spread. So even if your target is on point, you know, you're trying to shoot someone and your reticle is right on target, your bullets might still start flying around. This does the absolute reverse. So the longer you start firing, the more accurate your shots get. So it gets a lot easier to hit those longer range fights. And because the damage is not the highest, you're going to be usually firing for a longer time. So this combo is absolutely incredible. Would heavily recommend putting up that barrel. Then we already went over, but the extended mag, no need to explain. It's really good. And then with the ammo type, we use the FMJ, which is basically a standard one. You can go with the penetration, also very good, but it does increase the recoil a little bit, which is not ideal for the long range. If you're okay with the recoil being increased a little bit, it is definitely worth using the penetration. I ended up going with the FMJ. Here we have the second build. Most of these attachments you will unlock very quickly. I think maybe up to the mastery 20, I'm pretty sure you have all of these attachments. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think most of these you will have pretty quickly. Starting at the mag catch, improving the reload speed a tiny little bit. It goes from 2.6 seconds to 2.4 seconds. Now with the standard rounds FMJ, just like the other build, and here we use the 30 round mag, which is still fine, by the way. I use this for most of the time, of course, because you only get the extended mag and mastery 30 rounds is fine. It works very well. Sometimes for the long range gunfights you're going to be struggling though, because you might literally empty an entire mag and still not get the kill. Now this is a really good grip. Reduces recoil, enables a slightly faster transition to aim down sights. It's costing 20 points though, but this makes the gun even more beamy than it already is. I quite like using this one. Definitely worth tossing on. Now you would say, well, if the recoil is that low, why would you put up a grip? Very true. I think if you still struggle with the recoil or you really want zero recoil, this is the one for you. Angled grip. Now here I go with the basic grip. Why? Because the heavy 9-inch and the 11-inch are only good when you have that extended mag and you shoot for prolonged periods. With the 30 round mag, this is not going to happen very often, so going with that factory, which enables faster transition to aim down sights. Basically you zoom in faster, it's much more useful. Then here I have the suppressor, the suppressor build, standard suppressor. And then I have the red laser, which improves the hip fire a little bit and is not visible to the enemy. Now here I have that 1 to 5 times scope, and basically I didn't use the 5 times zoom once. I just thought the 1 times was very clean. It works very well up close, and with that low recoil, for some reason it's just very satisfying to use. If you disagree with that, definitely be sure to toss up one of the other sides, maybe not one of the scopes, but I really just enjoyed using the scope. I thought it was very clean. It can create for some tunnel vision in some cases, because you see a little bit less well around you, but just a very clean sight. The Mars F LPVO sight. Now, I have a couple of extra clips that I just wanted to show with this gun that I got through the streams. I hope you guys are going to enjoy them. Hopefully this build was useful. Be sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any of the future videos. And I hope to see you guys in the next video.